Hi, my name is Pete, and I'd like to tell you a little story that I have regarding a corrupt pharmaceutical company from Illinois and the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. On March 14th, 2012, I went in for a routine cardiac stress test. Prior to being given the Lexiscan for the test, I was told of some minor side effects. 10 minutes after being given this medication, I suffered a massive heart attack in the office. I was taken emergently to the cardiac cath lab in Fort Myers and had to be defibrillated 27 times. And I went into cardiac arrest and they administered CPR. Fortunately, I survived this ordeal. A month or so after the incident, wondering how this had happened since the side effects I was told about were headache, shortness of breath, chest discomfort, and maybe some nausea, all of which would subside rather quickly, I looked up Lexiscan's label and found there were numerous other more serious adverse side effects, including heart attack, ventricular arrhythmias, and cardiac arrest. They instruct the doctors to have resuscitative equipment on hand, but in the patient counseling section of the label, the pharmaceutical company instructs the provider to tell the patient of the common side effects only prior to administering the drug. No mention of the more adverse reactions. I filed a claim with the pharmaceutical company, Astellas Pharma, located in Illinois. This claim was denied. However, as part of the claim, I had requested that they include the adverse reactions in the patient counseling section of the label in addition to the common side effects. About 6 to 7 months after denying my claim, they did make those changes to the label. I began looking further into this company and found that they received a couple of warning letters from the FDA for false advertising. They paid over $7 million to the Department of Justice to settle a lawsuit for marketing one of their drugs for children when it was not approved for that use. In Florida, they are required to have an out-of-state manufacturer's permit to sell their drugs in the state. I obtained copies of their original application as well as their renewals. Under Florida law, they are required to have a license in the state that they are headquartered in this case being Illinois. They must furnish a copy with the application. They did not have this required license. Instead, they supplied pages of pending applications with various other states, but these pending applications were for a sister company located in New York State called Astellas Pharma Manufacturing Incorporated. They also supplied a corporate structure with the application. They list the parent company as Astellas Pharma Incorporated, which could make it seem as though they, the applicant, was the parent company and Florida issued the permit. Astellas Pharma Incorporated is the parent company, but they're located in Tokyo, not Illinois. The applicant was Astellas Pharma US Incorporated. In 2007, a renewal was submitted for Astellas Pharma US Incorporated. Cover letter states copy of state license because they attached a New York state license of the manufacturing company and affirmed that it was their resident state license from Illinois. A month later, the manufacturing company submitted their renewal application using the same New York state license that the other company used. Two different companies, two different states, same license, two different Florida permits. I filed a complaint with the DBPR, Division of Drugs, Cosmetics, and Devices. Nothing was done. I spoke with the division head, Mr. Dixon, on numerous occasions with no success. Under Florida law, if a permittee does not comply with the previous permit, they are precluded from any future renewals and must file for a new application. These regulations are all clearly listed, as well as the department's obligations in the Florida Statutes Series 499, Drugs, Cosmetics, and Devices. Mr. Dixon disagreed with my findings, so I filed a petition for a hearing before an administrative law judge. I also requested sanctions against Mr. Dixon for failing to do his job as provided by the statutes. My petition was denied by Mr. Dixon. I filed an amended petition. This was also denied. Under Florida Statute 120.665, he should have disqualified himself as he was biased and had a personal interest in making this decision. I filed another complaint with the IG for that department, but nothing has happened. And I'm waiting to hear back from my representative to meet and discuss this matter. I did present case law to Mr. Dixon and departmental actions on record for individuals having their licenses revoked or suspended for lying on their applications or not being renewed because required documentation was not attached. There was also a case where a company used documentation of a similarly named sister company, like this incident, and the federal government declared that license null and void. So how does the billion-dollar company get away with lying and the little guys don't? Could it be the contributions that they have made to campaigns throughout Florida with the Astellas Political Action Committee? If you're outraged by these events, as I am, and you live in Florida, contact DBPR and your legislator and ask why they never prosecuted this company for their repeated perjured statements, fraud, and deceit against the people of the state of Florida. If you live in another state, you might want to get copies of this company's permit applications from your state, because it's almost certain they lied on those applications as well. In Illinois, their first license was issued on 10/27 of 2009. So they marketed their drugs in and from Illinois for 4 years without the proper license. I wouldn't be surprised if these violations fall under the RICO statutes, because there are multiple occasions they use the mail and or common carrier to perpetrate this fraud upon the people of the state of Florida for financial gain. So far, all my doings have gotten me absolutely nowhere. I'm asking for everyone's help out there who sees this video to please contact the appropriate authorities. Thank you very much.